We've got a massive Dodgers spring training update. Everything you need to know about what's going on down in Camelback Ranch. That's coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live.
It's time for Dodger baseball. Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You guys ready to parade? We got a parade! The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series! Ohtani starts the 50-50 clock! Milky Magic! Freeman hits the ball to right field! She is gone! Start the party, Los Angeles! Your Dodgers have won the World Series!
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers show and podcast on YouTube. My name is Doug McKain, credential member of Dodgers Media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Now, if you haven't yet, do me a huge favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. Also, comment Roki of the Year down below so you're eligible for our next big giveaway, a Roki Sasaki authentic Dodgers jersey once we hit 120,000 subscribers. So comment Roki of the Year so you're eligible down below. Also, subscribe to our newest edition, the Discord channel. I cannot stress this enough. If you want to take your Dodgers Nation fandom, your Dodgers fandom to the next level, join the Dodgers Nation Discord today. We have over 1,000 members already. We have the premium Dodgers Nation All Access, and that's going to have behind-the-scenes content, exclusive merch, exclusive chats, Q&As, and then also you're going to be able to call into the show, all kinds of really cool stuff. So be sure to join that. And also, if you could, definitely subscribe to my other YouTube channel, The Big Lead One. It's my show about all sports. But we got a lot to get into, and I asked you guys over in the X, by the way, I'm going to throw out some bold predictions later in the show. What is your boldest prediction for spring training? Not for the entire season, right? We'll get into those later. But what is your boldest prediction for Dodgers spring training? But we've got so much to get into, so let's get right into it. I'm going to start with Roki Sasaki. Roki Sasaki made his first appearance in Dodger blue, wearing the uniform and actually pitching. And there was a buzz at Camelback Ranch. From what I was told, that the pitchers, the players, everyone was zeroed in and zoned in on his performance. And here was Roki Sasaki talking about his first bullpen session, the first time he threw with that Dodgers uniform on.
状態はそこまで良くなかったんですけど、まず怪我なくブルペンを終えれて良かったです。
It didn't necessarily feel great today, but I think just being able to get through the first bullpen without any injuries was a good thing. Yeah, there were obviously some nerves, and then it was just a little bit colder than I was expecting today, and then some mechanical things where my body wasn't maybe moving the way that I was expecting it to.
And then he talked about the Tokyo series and how meaningful it would be for him to be able to participate in that and take the mound in that historic series.
そうですね、なかなか開幕を、メジャーでの開幕を日本で迎えるという機会はそんなないと思うので、すごく特別なことだと思いますし、まずはそこに向けていい準備ができたらなと思っています。
Having this opportunity to open the season in Japan with a major league team is really special, so I just want to make sure that I'm prepared to be ready for that.
So that is clearly the plan. They want him to take them out. They want him to be ready to go. But like I said yesterday, they are not going to put anything in stone. They're not going to write it in Sharpie yet. If it's in pencil, fine. But you want to make sure that everything goes as planned as far as his ramp up goes, as far as him continuing to get comfortable. You don't want to put those type of expectations, that level of pressure on him this early when he's still trying to get used to his new teammates, the media, just pitching in a Dodgers uniform, the significance of that. There's a lot going on in Roki Sasaki's mind right now. So I love the fact that it's a carrot for him to go out there and chase, and he knows that that is the ultimate goal. I think that's very important for him to have that goal, knowing that it's a possibility, but I like the way they're playing this. Now, another thing that was asked was about Yoshinobu Yamamoto and Shohei Ohtani and how they have made this transition to Major League Baseball into the reigning World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers easier. Here's what Roki had to say about how Shohei and Yoshinobu Yamamoto have helped him transition.
今日初日で、実際わからないことが多かったんですけど、はい、前もって確認したりとか、しながらこう一つずつ確認しながらできたので、そういった意味ですごくこう助かってます。
It being my first day today, obviously there's a lot of stuff that I didn't know, so being able to talk to them beforehand just to check how things would go, and then sort of being able to check with them as things go along was really helpful.
See, I love that. And I think that, yeah, it's a simple answer, but it cannot be overstated how important that is. Not only to have fellow countrymen, fellow players from your Team Japan squad on the team, but it's a guy in Shohei Ohtani that is the only human being on the planet that can sit down and look you in the eye and have a conversation about what it's like to go through this process and be a Japanese phenom that's transitioning to Major League Baseball before the age of 25. Someone who's got posted early and someone that's pitching as well, that's expected to pitch at an elite level. He can go to Shohei Ohtani and be like, hey, what was it like? I mean, handling the media, handling the expectation, handling the pressure, and it's simple things like directions of where to go, where you need to be during certain times. It's like if you ever went to a school district where you had a bunch of elementary schools and then you all went to the same middle school, that first day you guys went to that middle school in 6th grade, you found the guys you went to elementary school, your dudes, like, oh, there's my guy right there. There's my guy right there. It's like on the first day of school, you link up with your squad, and I think that Roki Sasaki has done just that, and that is something that is going to, I think, most importantly for the Dodgers, accelerate the process of getting him comfortable. There's no denying that Roki Sasaki already has one of the most explosive fastballs in Major League Baseball. This is someone that has topped out at 102.5 miles per hour. We're talking about Hunter Green. I mean, we're talking about some of the high velo pitchers in the game. He's already in that category, the Paul Skeens of the world. But it's the splitter that will take him over the top. Raw stuff, he has that. So the most important thing is getting comfortable. He talked about the mechanics and it being a cold day. That's going to come along. That's going to come along, and that's where you're going to see him benefit from the tutelage of Connor McGinnis and Mark Pryor and the Dodgers analytics department. So this process is starting. He's getting comfortable. You can see him running right here. Look at all that media. Look at the fans. This is not like this everywhere. This wouldn't be like that if you were for the Arizona Diamondbacks or another club, right? The Dodgers are the big deal, right? I call them the Beatles of baseball. That's who they are right now. So he has to get used to that. And there was a buzz about the minute he threw that splitter. Austin Barnes reportedly yelled out, "Oh my gosh," the first time he saw it. And here was Austin Barnes talking about Roki Sasaki and the potential that he has as a pitcher.
Yeah, it was good. First pin, obviously. Probably a little nervous for him, I would assume. And but his fastball is a big fastball. Had a lot of carry, a lot of ride to it. And the split finger is different. I haven't really seen a pitch like that before. It's different than like Yamamoto. It's good. It's obviously it's hard to catch sometimes. It's moving all over the place. But I think he's just getting his feet wet. First pin of the thing. He's young. He'll have a lot of time to get ready for the season, and excited to see what he's gonna do. No, he's got a real smooth delivery. Obviously, a real big guy. The ball jumps at you though. It has that thing that kind of just like explodes up and little arm side stuff, and it's a big fastball. And pair that with his split. I think they play good off each other, and it'll be fun to see his full slate of stuff. And I think he was, like I said, just getting his feet wet with the first pin.
So you heard the man right there. Big fastball, a splitter that he's never seen. By the way, I see the comments here. We got Rookie of the Year, lots of Rookie of the Years. We got SK Big D hat, still can't get used to it. I like the D. I like the Big D hats for the Dodgers this year, bruh. BT Foul says, what up, D-Mac and the gang? Happy rainy-ass Thursday, Dodgers Nation. Yeah, it is pouring out there. I think those are the tears of all the baseball fans out there that are saying the Dodgers are ruining baseball. I think that's what that is. Dan C says, what up, D-Mac? What's up, Dodgers Nation? Hope everyone is staying dry. Let's go, Dodgers. So hyped. Yeah, absolutely. Hyped can almost not even describe it. I'll give you a little comment of the show, Dan C.
You win. Perfect.
Nando, 3 nights is $7 million on Kershaw for him to only give up 7 runs in the first inning. Don't disrespect the legend.
Bruh.
But we'll talk about Kershaw. How's it going, Nando? Yeah, but I see you guys firing away in the chat. Definitely keep dropping those comments down below. And later in the show, I'm going to go right in all the comments. Got a super chat right here from JG Fleet. $5. Appreciate that. Funny enough, Roki is in the pinnacle baseball market, but he doesn't have pressure on him to dominate early. JG Fleet, excellent point. And that was a point that I was making all offseason, in that it's funny how you look at that, right? That really, on the surface, it should be, wait a second, the best pitching prospect on the planet goes to the team that is the reigning World Series champion that already has Shohei Ohtani. It's the Dodgers. There should be more pressure on him. The truth is, this is a more comfortable situation because you don't have to rush him into being your number 1, 2, or 3 starter because of how deep this starting rotation is for the Dodgers. He can adjust at his own pace and make sure that if there's anything that needs to be corrected or worked on or refined, he can take a step back and address that. Versus if he's on another franchise, even in a smaller market, like let's say the Padres, for example, if he's on the Padres, he is the number 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5 story during their spring training. He's the guy that you're selling all your tickets and making billboards and all your bobblehead nights. I mean, they have some stars there, but it would be all about Roki Sasaki. And I think that for the Dodgers, it makes the most sense just because he doesn't have to be forced into a situation where he's the guy right off the bat. So I love that point that you make right there. But let's keep it moving here because we got lots of clips to get into. And I thought this was amazing. I don't know if you guys saw this, but the Dodgers social media team, they posted a video of Roki Sasaki gifting Miguel Rojas some sake for giving him number 11. Here, check it out.
Konnichiwa. How are we doing? Thank you.
背番号ありがとうございます。
Everyone wants to thank you for that number 11.
Of course.
これは日本のなんか有名なお酒と、あとこれは日本の伝統的な、ガラスのカップでこれで飲むと美味しいです。
Really appreciate
どう
this.
ぞ。
I said it a bunch of times. You didn't have to do anything for me because this always happened the other way around. Young player, give the number to the veteran. But for me, it's a pleasure that I can give you the number because I know it means something to you. Same thing, the number 11 means something to me and the organization. I want him to know that before me, he was another guy that was pretty popular in LA. And so those guys are important in our culture, and hopefully we can actually continue to do this. It's nice. It's gonna be hard for me to drink it. I think I'm just gonna keep it. I use colors. Beautiful. Bar at my house that I keep everything that we got from the World Series, or a bottle of like Kershaw threw a no-hitter when I played here in 2014, and he gave like all the players a bottle, and I keep that over there, and this is gonna be with that. So thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Welcome.
Thank you.
Again. Of course.
That's awesome stuff. And I think that really epitomizes what this organization is all about. And I think it goes back to the lead up to getting Roki Sasaki to sign with this organization. Yes, you had Decoy and Shohei Ohtani. By the way, Decoy probably a better closer as far as an agent than probably Preller at this point. But Decoy, you had Shohei, you had Freddie Freeman, you had Mookie Betts, all at Peter Guber's mansion in Bel Air. But it was also 19 other players that sent in video messages to tell him how important it was for him to sign with his team, that this is an organization that treats your families well, that makes sure that they put you in a position to have success. So it was an all-out effort to get Roki Sasaki to the Dodgers. It wasn't just, hey, Shohei and Yamamoto, go get your guy. No, it was a lot of other things. I think of the 10-minute speech that Mookie Betts made that talked about how much he loved Los Angeles. So it was an all-out effort. Now, it is interesting that he goes with the sake. And I think that was a fantastic gesture. I think it's cool just because it was personal. It's a personal gift. It definitely gives an a nod to the culture that he comes from. I mean, it was a part of their culture. And sure, it's not a Porsche, but it's very thoughtful. I will say, too, I was just thinking about this when I watched this. I mean, the Saki can kind of drown your sorrows if you're disappointed, Miguel Rojas, that you didn't get a Porsche. I mean, maybe the Saki can kind of help you forget the fact that he didn't give you that Porsche. But I will say this, too, that Shohei Ohtani is like the global ambassador for Porsche. There's a chance, I'm not saying this is true, but there probably is a chance that Roki Sasaki paid more for that Saki than Shohei Ohtani paid for the Porsche. I don't know if that's true or not, but look, Shohei Ohtani is at the point where he's so successful. Rich dudes like that, superstars like that, it's kind of one of those things where you finally get to the point where you can afford everything, and then it's like everything's free now because we want people to see you in our product. So here, Hugo Boss, take that. Seiko watches, have as many as you want. Porsches, take as many as you want. Because if I'm Porsche, I wouldn't charge Shohei Ohtani a dime because it's great advertising. But I mean, I did think, like I said, I mean, I probably could afford a 2005 Porsche Boxster off Craigslist. I saw one the other day for $5,500. You could have done that as well. But really cool, and I do think that it really, really highlights just the team aspect, the culture of this team, and that the veterans, they embrace the young guys. The young guys, they look up to the veterans. Miguel Rojas isn't an all-star. Miguel Rojas is not a future Hall of Famer like Mookie, like Freddie, like so many of these legendary Dodgers, but he really is a Hall of Fame-like clubhouse presence in the sense that he has the same level of respect. He gets the same level of respect than the guys that I just mentioned. So I really do think that was an awesome thing to see. And I really love the fact that it just looks like Roki is in an environment that he can thrive and flourish. As far as the season he's going to have, just kind of looking at his projections, Fangraphs, they project that Roki will have a 3.30 ERA, a 3.21 FIP, an 11.63 strikeouts per nine, make 24 starts, and pitch 139 innings. So if he put up those numbers, that'd be incredible. I mean, you're talking Rookie of the Year, right? He would win Rookie of the Year. I think that you look at his overall numbers, I think for sure you're going to see a strikeout rate above 30%. I do think that you're going to see an ERA in the low threes. I even think it could be lower than the 3.30 there. The one I look at, though, is the 139 innings because he's someone from a durability standpoint. He hasn't gone too deep into seasons as far as being one of those big-time innings eaters types. Like Yamamoto had pitched 160 innings in all three of his Triple Crown seasons in the NPB. That hasn't been the case for Roki Sasaki, but 24 starts, I think that number probably is closer to probably 20, but especially in his rookie season, and it's all about keeping him fresh for the postseason. So I think it's very consistent with the year that we saw from Yamamoto when he was healthy, but I think you're going to see better strikeout numbers and more dominant stuff. So it's about the flashes, but I truly think that he's going to be an all-star in year one. I truly do. I think the stuff is just too good. The confidence level needs to be there, and the comfort level needs to be there, but I think that Roki Sasaki makes the all-star team in year one as a Los Angeles Dodger. Now, as far as the next pitcher, it's kind of crazy just to say this guy's a pitcher, but Shohei Ohtani. So Shohei Ohtani had an incredible 50-50 season last year. He won the World Series with the Dodgers in year one. But what makes Shohei Ohtani the unicorn is the fact that he can hit at an MVP level and he can pitch at a Cy Young level. So the number one storyline, and I've said it before, I'll say it again, the number one storyline with a bullet is, will Shohei Ohtani get back to the pitcher that he was before the second major arm surgery? And if he does, he's going to run away with the MVP. Because as far as I'm concerned, it shouldn't even be close. Because there's no one on the planet that can do what he does. Aaron Judge, great season. Mookie Betts can have a great season. Mike Trout can have a great season. Barry Bonds can have a great season even on steroids. And even so, both those guys can honestly say that they can do, even at their best, what Shohei Ohtani does, and that is pitch and hit at the big league level at that level. So here is Shohei Ohtani giving an update on where he's at from a pitching standpoint and the next steps for his rehab process of getting back on the mound.
いいと思います。今日寒かったですけど、ある程度出力というか強いボール投げれたので、そこは今日は満足してます。はい。
Very satisfied overall with my throwing. Was able to throw with pretty good intensity. It was a little cold today, but I was able to get my work done.
今週入ると思います。今週末ですかね。まだそんなに強く投げるかわからないですけど、傾斜を使って投げる感じはするかなと思ってます。
Sometime this weekend, it's going to be more about touching the slope. Not sure what my intensity is going to be.
今日スイーパー初めて投げましたけど、それ以外の球種は今までも投げてたので、ブルペンでどの程度投げるかちょっとまっすぐの出来次第になるかなと思います。
Threw my sweeper for the first time on the flat ground today, but aside from that, all my pitches I've been throwing on flat ground. In terms of the bullpen, just going to depend on how my fastball feels.
So that's the number one thing, is getting the feel for that fastball back, and you heard him mention that he has thrown that sweeper on flat ground. So really the next step for Shohei Ohtani is getting on the bump, getting on the mound, and seeing how he bounces back. And until he does that, it's going to be tough to determine in timeline when he'll be back. Now, I think the number one thing that we need to accept for the upcoming season is if you're hoping to see Shohei Ohtani steal 40 or 50 bases, that's not happening. Is he still going to steal the occasional base when the opportunity is there and it makes sense for the Dodgers as far as the game situation goes? I'm sure they'll consider it, but he's not going to be that dynamic base runner. Two, I think you're going to see him take some days off at DH. I think there'll be days throughout the season, who knows how many there'll be, 5, 10, 15, where Shohei Ohtani coming off a start, it's a getaway day, just certain opportunities where you can rest Shohei, you're going to see him rest. And I think that's very, very important because last season with Shohei Ohtani, he left it all out on the floor, right? He left it all out there on the field the way he was that rock, right? Mookie missed time with the broken hand. Freddie missed time with the injury and the health issues to his son. Shohei Ohtani played in 159 games. 159 games, had 731 plate appearances. And then you add the fact that he would go on to play throughout the postseason and then suffer that labrum injury that led to surgery. You have to put Shohei in a great position to have success in the postseason because, look, Shohei Ohtani's postseason numbers, they weren't great. Right? They weren't Shohei Ohtani level numbers. And this is no slight at Shohei, right? I mean, it was his first taste of postseason action. I will say, and I'll take it to my grave, that if Shohei Ohtani did not tie it up and hit that 3-run shot off of Dylan Cease in game 1 of the NLDS, that the Dodgers probably get swept that series. And it is a very different tone to the offseason, even probably the show. So he certainly had his moments, and he was constantly a threat, constantly putting stress on the pitchers. You'll never forget even him being advantageous and taking extra bases in the World Series when the opportunity was there. But if you look at the series that he had in the NLDS, he goes 4 for 20, hit 200, had 1 home run. The NLCS, that was more the Shohei that we know. That was the MVP level bat that we were used to seeing throughout the regular season. Against the Mets in 6 games, he went 8 for 22, hit 2 home runs, had 6 RBIs. So the power was back, the hits were back, and there were still some strikeouts there, but still an 1185 OPS. The World Series in 5 games, Shohei had just 2 hits. He went 2 for 19, had a double, didn't get that big monster moment, had that double off the wall there early in the series, but he hit 105 in the postseason, in the World Series, and for the postseason as a whole, he hit 230 with a 767 OPS. So that was not MVP level Shohei Ohtani. So I'm very curious to see what his thoughts were when he went back and he assessed his postseason at-bats and his approach at the plate. And look, it's an extremely small sample size. I mean, we kind of saw Shohei go off to a slow start last year before he hit his first home run against the Giants. So it was a little bit of a par for the course for him, but I'm not worried at all, but let's not forget, this is someone that you want to preserve his career. He's going into that age 30 season. So if you have to give him days off during the year, I love that, because then you can throw Max Muncy in a DH spot. And you got Kiké that can play third that day. You got Hassan Kim who can play second, and Tommy Edman can play multiple positions. Miguel Rojas can play multiple positions. If Chris Taylor's still on the roster, he can play multiple positions. So that also keeps other guys on your team a little fresher as well. So look for that. That's definitely something that you have to be ready for the upcoming season. Now, let's switch gears to another pitcher, and that is Blake Snell. So Blake Snell, I mean, I don't know about you guys, man, but I haven't seen Blake Snell smile like this at any point of his career. I don't remember him smiling like this as much when he was on the Rays. I remember him making that stank face when he got taken out of the game, and it led to the Dodgers taking the 2020 World Series. And then the Padres, the Giants, I don't know, but he just looks so happy to be a Dodger. And here's what Blake Snell had to say about the six-man rotation, because I think one of the early takeaways from spring training is, yes, they do want to use the six-man rotation, and it's really going to be not a hard and fast six-man rotation where it's, okay, six guys, and you just keep making your turn. No, it's going to be a little more complicated than that, because you have days off. You can use guys for spot starts. You got young pitchers in the rotation that you can throw in there for starts as well. But here was Blake Snell on the six-man rotation, and I think the big takeaway here is that he's one of those guys that likes to pitch more on a 4 or 5 day rest schedule, and he's looking to kind of change the narrative on him going deep into games and deep into seasons as far as innings counts go.
That's a lot of pitchers. A lot of talented pitchers, to say the least. We've been just talking. We haven't really got to that point yet, but it's more, how do I feel? When do I want to get going? We're going to have more conversations today. Now that I do another pen. But in the next couple of weeks, I think I'll have a better idea. Right now, it's just keep developing, keep getting better, and start syncing everything together.
And then he told Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic, the last 4 or 5 years, I'm starting to really figure out how to pitch, how to go deeper, learning a lot, watching a lot of good pitchers that were on my teams. And he said, it's really something I want to get better at. Now I'm here with Kershaw. I couldn't think of someone better to talk to learn how to be a better version of yourself. So if you look at how the Dodgers have used a six-man rotation even last season, and how you kind of gave guys extra rest through the year, the Dodgers, they only had a pitcher start on 4 days rest in 10 games last season. In 10 of their 178 games, including the postseason. So only 10 times last year did pitchers pitch on 4 days rest. So that's rare, right? That's not what you typically see. You saw more 5 days rest and occasionally 6 days rest when the time permitted to it. And with Shohei Ohtani, that's the number one thing to make this thing work, because Shohei Ohtani, when he gets back on the mound, he's already preserved that two-way player status. Then you can utilize a six-man rotation, and you don't have to take a reliever out because he won't count against the 13 pitchers that you can have on the 26-man active roster. So it is essentially like you have a cheat code, right? It's the up, down, left, right, A, B, A, C, A, B, B. That's what it is for Shohei Ohtani, because you are allowed to essentially have 14 pitchers on the roster, and you don't have to dip into that bullpen depth, and you can still have a full complement of arms in your starting rotation. But one of my bold predictions for Blake Snell this season is I truly believe that you're going to see him be a almost 6 innings per start type of pitcher. And if you look at the last couple of years for Blake Snell, 5.63 innings per start in 2023. And 20 of those 32 starts were on 4 days rest. 2024, 5.2 innings per start. 7 of those 20 starts were on 4 days rest. So you look at those numbers, clearly they're going to have to figure something out from his standpoint to make sure that he's happy with the way he's being utilized. I mean, we saw a couple years ago how Max Scherzer was not happy about how he was being used with the longer rest. But the truth is, when he came back from the injured list last season, he was great. I mean, he had made 5.74 innings per start, and he went at least 6 innings in his last 10 starts of the season. So, I mean, just think about that. I mean, no, he went 6 innings in 10 of his last 13 starts. So, incredible. Posted a 1.23 ERA. Had a strikeout rate close to 40%. So, Blake Snell is entering this season coming off one of the most dominant stretches of his career. I think he's going to pitch a no-hitter this season. That's one of my bold predictions. Blake Snell is pitching a no-no in 2025. He did it last year. He's as nasty as he's ever been. And I think as far as the 6-man rotation goes, I mean, you don't have to just have those same 6 guys making their turn every 6 days to have a 6-man rotation. You can manipulate the roster. You can mix in some younger pitchers, the Landon Knacks, the Bobby Millers, the Gonsolins, the Dustin Mays. There's ways to do it where you can still have Blake Snell making starts with a rest pattern that he thinks is more optimal for his abilities at this stage of his career. So, yeah, I think that's really awesome. It's great to hear him talk about Kershaw, too. I mean, he said that putting on that jersey for the first time, that it felt amazing, and he's been waiting to do it for a while. So, to throw a bullpen in that Dodgers uniform meant a lot to him. And he said that to see Kershaw watch his bullpen, Blake Snell said, quote, "That's like the coolest thing I think I've done in my career is pitch in front of him. I can't wait to see how the season goes." If that doesn't tug on your heartstrings, I don't know what will. Clayton Kershaw and Blake Snell is the Dodgers bromance that we didn't know we needed. We did not know we need this, but I need it. And it is sad that Walker Buehler is on another team, but maybe Blake Snell replaces Walker Buehler as his team pitcher BFF. We know it's Austin Barnes as the catcher, but his pitcher BFF. By the way, I don't know if you guys saw this. Shield your eyes, but look at this. Oh, come on. I can't take it. I can't take it. Walker Buehler in a Red Sox. This is okay. This is just nightmare fuel. The 0, the Red Sox. It just doesn't feel right, man. This pains me to see this. I hate this. This is nightmare fuel. I hate seeing this. This is when Justin Turner was a Red Sox. At least he had the red beard and it was kind of cool. But to think that Walker Buehler is going to be teammates with like Alex Bregman, and I just can't deal with this. I hate this. I hate this. What are your thoughts on Walker Buehler, though, in a Red Sox uniform? Let me know down below. And let's get to some comments here before we get to our next topic. Because, yeah, like I said, lots happening down in Arizona at Camelback Ranch for your boys in blue. We have My Eyes Want to Only See Beautiful Things. That's from Mr. Classic. BT Fouts, Buehler and Bregman are now teammates. LOL. Yeah. Buehler is going to hate Boston from Matt. We've got Stop It. Damn. Take that ish off from NS. Yuck from Mr. Classic. At least he's in the AL from Yang Yi. Good point. My Eyes from SK. We have Buehler and Bregman are BFFs from Chilltown All-Star. Roki will be wearing a Nomo jersey on the 2025 World Series parade bus. MG, I like that. I like the hot take. Craig Osterberg also points out that at least he's in the American League. Hello from Tokyo. How's it going? We love the players from that country, and we welcome you here to Dodgers Nation, the Dodgers Dugout Live program. We got Claudia 11. If Bob Miller can learn to channel his anger more constructively, he's going to be deadly. You bring up a fantastic point, Claudia, in that the talent is certainly there for Bobby Miller. I think from a mechanic standpoint, he was dealing with the injury, and they tinker with that, and that led to some of his ineffectiveness. But you're right. I mean, between the years, if Bobby Miller he's mentioned in the past, I mean, just the ability to kind of manage your mental state of mind and to keep things calm when you've walked a guy, you've hit a batter, you've given up a couple base hits to start an inning. The ERA numbers, the opponent's batting average with runners on versus when it's off with Bobby Miller kind of paint that picture too and tell the story that when he gets to a point where he's just a little more comfortable and managing that stress level better, that I think that he'll see better results. So, yeah, I think that's a fantastic point for sure. Mr. Classic, D-Mac, you should start a Japanese Dodger channel. Hope you speak Japanese. I've seen them take the videos and the episodes, and they put them all in Japanese subtitles. So, it's all good. I'm not getting a dime for it, but it's all good. I like this BC Buck Fregman. Nando, Buehler wearing 0 because he ain't winning any more championships. There you go. Rackham. Give you a Rackham. At least the next couple years for sure. I'll give you a Dodger Dog of the Day.
Dodger Dog of the Game.
There we go. Okay, so keeping it moving here. Next thing we got to hit is Kiké Hernández. So Kiké Hernández, he spoke to reporters down at Camelback Ranch, and he talked about the process of waiting it out this offseason and how there weren't a lot of teams really contacting him and being aggressive about pursuing him for the simple fact that he realized that he was going to re-sign with the Dodgers. Here was Kiké Hernández talking about his contract situation.
This roster was more full than a Bad Bunny concert, but February 10th was the day we had to wait. So we explored and looked around to see what the other options were going to be. And at the end of the day, just made the most sense for he made that clear. I guess I was sitting on my offer for a while, but it made no sense for me to say yes since there was 3-4 weeks till roster spot opened up, so I figured there was 3-4 more weeks of getting to see what the other options were, and he did say that right away. He's like, if you don't come back, we're gonna fill within. We're not. It's not like if you don't take this offer, we're gonna go find somebody else. I guess that gave me a little bit of clarity as far as no pressure and having to say give a quick answer right away, but
So I love that line, by the way. He said the roster was more full than a Bad Bunny concert. Gotta give him some love for that one. But yeah, I think that it was a off season for Kiké where the Dodgers made it clear to him that he was going to be back with this club in some capacity, and he wasn't going to sign with another club. Like, I mean, it's what I heard, because I've been saying on the show for the entire offseason, you weren't going to see Kiké Hernández play for another club just because of what he did for this team in the postseason. And we've talked about it for the last couple of days, that the versatility that he brings and the ability to slug in the postseason, that tells the full story. I mean, Kiké Hernández, if there's one dude you want at the plate when it matters most, the fact that you can even consider a dude that's a 93 weighted runs created plus, 7% below average regular season player, but the fact that you would even entertain the idea of saying, man, I might want Kiké over like this all-star. I might want Kiké over this future Hall of Famer. That tells you everything you need to know about how he performs in the postseason. Now, about Clayton Kershaw's contract, we've got new details about Clayton Kershaw's contract. Robert Murray tweet out breakdown of Clayton Kershaw's contract with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Sources say that it is a 1-year, $7.5 million deal. That includes $1 million for each for 13, 14, 15, 16 games started. It also includes $2.5 million for 30 days on active roster, $1 million for 60 days on active roster, and $1 million for 90 days on active roster. So you look at that deal, and it makes a ton of sense. It makes a ton of sense to have that deal in place because it's incentive-based. And if you know anything about the way that Clayton Kershaw's contract negotiations have gone throughout his career, he's someone that doesn't want to get more money than he thinks that he can provide value with. He doesn't want to take these monster deals that he could have taken with the Rangers. He didn't want to take the deals like Max Scherzer or Justin Verlander or any of those guys took, right? He wants to get paid. He wants to get compensated, but he wants to do it in a area where there's integrity, where he feels like he's not taking money that he doesn't deserve. So you look at the contract. I mean, first of all, he opted out of that deal for $10 million, and you look at the $7.5 million as the base, and it just says that if he hits all the incentives, he'll be at $16 million. So if he hits those incentives, that's great. And he's still a value, a bargain at that price. So it puts the Dodgers in a comfortable situation, and I think it puts Clayton Kershaw in a comfortable situation where the last thing he would want is, okay, these guys nickel and dime me, and I want to re-sign with the Dodgers just for the simple fact that I want to be a part of this team and have my farewell tour and get the 3,000 strikeouts. So, hey, just sign me for whatever. No, that's not how it went down. It was, hey, we know how much money he made in your career. He's made over $200 million in his career. He's financially set. It's not like he lives some lavish lifestyle, right, with mansions and like 50 cars. He's not like Floyd Mayweather Kershaw or anything like that, right? That's not how he gets down. But look, guys want their value based on what he thinks he can provide. By the way, if you're looking at Clayton Kershaw's career earnings, if anyone wants to guess it down below, I'll give you it in a second. I'll read some of your guesses. But I have Clayton Kershaw's career earnings down below. We can play that game, and we'll see who can get it. But if he finds a spot in this rotation, great. I mean, you look at right now, yeah, Shohei Ohtani, Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Roki Sasaki. If he's that sixth guy, and then you have Tony Gonsolin, Dustin May for starts here and there, Bobby Miller, Landon Knox for starts here and there, guys that do have some options, there are going to be ways to get through a full season and have depth. So you need depth. Clayton Kershaw provides that. There's not going to be the pressure for him to go out there and get you 10, 15, 20 strikeouts and throw no hitters, right? It's not what's expected of him. We want the 32 strikeouts so we can reach that 3,000 strikeout plateau. But I think for me, the number one thing is that that's a great incentive-based deal for him. I mean, to max out at potentially $16 million, and then you opt out of the $10 million, you get the 7.5 with the incentive. It makes a ton of sense for sure. And it's not necessarily a pay cut at the end of the day. It's definitely not. But it's basically, if you want to know how this plays out, it's basically stay healthy and get paid. Period. End of story. That is how you sum up this contract. But let's look down below in the comment section. Here's your guesses for Clayton Kershaw's no deferrals. Yes. This is your guesses for Clayton Kershaw for his career earnings. I got the number right here. Robert Escobar says 306. This is like the price is right. You can't go over. 365 million for Robert Escobar, 239 million for Hector Munoz. We've got 230 for Gabriel, 222 from Still EJ. Exodus says 300 million. BT Fouts, 416 million. Robin Brazil, 290 million. Yes, no deferrals. Adrian, 296 million. A super chat here from 4-Seater 777-499. This is the most hype that I've ever been for a Dodgers season. The boys are already bonding. This is an all-star team. I love that. It's so true. It's crazy to think that we could be even more excited about this season than last year, but I'm with you. I'm so excited to see Shohei Ohtani and Roki Sasaki pitch. It's just, I can't sleep, man. But yeah, give you a comment of the show. Okay, we've got 420 million from Sherry, 250 million from Chilltown, 450 million from Paul Nini. By the way, 69 million from SK. SK with the 69 million. First of all, you know what you're getting. Bruh. But shout out to you guys for not Googling this, by the way. $1 Bob from BT. We got $1 Bob from Nando 390, 220 million. Okay, we've got his career earnings for Clayton Kershaw at $306.176 million. So $306 million. Who was the closest? Who was the closest here? I think it was 306. A.G. Jordan pretty close at $297 million. Pretty close. Wingmaker pretty close at $320 million. Maybe we'll do that more. You guys want to play that game in the future? Guess your career earnings. But the deal is official for Clayton Kershaw. Kiké talked about his deal. I see you guys talking more about Blake Snell and the 2020 World Series for some reason, which is interesting. But you know, it's funny. He actually did talk about that. He was asked if any of the players had asked him about what happened in 2020. Here's what Blake Snell had to say.
I mean, people talk about it, but I literally just push it away. I'm like, man, it's 2025. I'm wearing this now. We're good.
Guys, first of all, shout out to Kevin Cash. Dude deserves a ring. But yeah, that was in 2020, man. It's 2025. And yeah, it was a moment in time. We know that he was dealing. I think that for anyone not to say you wanted Blake Snell, like I said, you got to go out there and see that performance once again. I actually watched it a couple of days ago. Man, when he's locked in, when he's dialed in, Blake Snell is as nasty as it gets. Nastier than a gas station bathroom, man. The guy's just ridiculous. Now, Kevin Cash was so bad. Yeah, don't take him out, man. That's the one thing. I hope Dave Roberts realized that. It's got to be the Kevin Cash rule, right? Don't Kevin Cash Blake Snell when he's on the Dodgers, right? Don't pull a 2017 and 2018 Rich Hill. We do not want to see that. Okay, a couple more guys before we head out of here. I don't know if you guys saw this. Check it out. This is the catcher, Francisco Alvarez from the New York Mets. Look what he said. He said, I think we are better than the Dodgers lineup. What are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on him saying that? Because I have seen Dodgers fans out there freak out about this. How could he say that they're better than the Dodgers? The Dodgers beat them in the NLCS. And I respect everyone's opinions. I respect your takes. Hey, everyone can have their opinions. But, I mean, what'd you expect him to say? Hey, man, pack it in, fellas. We're playing for second place this year. Pack it in. The Dodgers are going 162-0, 11-0 in the postseason. Why are we even here? Their lineup is better than us. It's a wrap. I mean, it's like breaking news. A guy on his own team thinks that they're better than other team. I don't think this is bulletin board material, right? I don't think this is something that should rile up the fan bases saying, "Oh, the Mets have a good lineup." You got Lindor, Soto, Pete Alonso's back, Vientos, Nimmo. That's pretty damn good. I mean, that's a pretty damn good first five in your lineup. Is it better than Shohei Ohtani and Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman and Teoscar Hernandez and Will Smith? No, it's not. Let's just call it what it is. It isn't, but it's good. I think that you look at the top five versus their top five, it's definitely good. I will say, though, I mean, if the Mets added Vladimir Guerrero Jr., that'd be pretty stacked next year. If they add Kyle Tucker, that'd be pretty stacked next year. So there's that as well. But we'll see. I mean, the 9 hitters in the lineup are better than the 9 hitters in the lineup for the Mets, and the pitching staff for the Dodgers is superior for sure. But yeah, man, what do you want them to say? Hey, we suck again. You want to pull you want to do that one for them? I mean, come on now. I mean, I don't know. This one is one that I just don't know what he could have said that would have been different. I mean, he's just supporting his own team, and I wouldn't expect anything else. But yeah, let me know. Do you have any issue with what he said? For sure. Hey, pack it in, boys. The Dodgers are winning it all, man. It's over. I mean, if it was Anthony Rendon, I'd be like, we don't want to hear anything from you, bro. I mean, but BT, don't give Steve Cohen any ideas, D-Mac. I know, right? I shouldn't, right? I do enough putting this roster together for this team. But D-Mac, that's true. But what do you expect us to clap back with? Nothing. Do it on the field, man. This team doesn't really need to talk. I mean, they got the hardware, right? They got put the ring on the middle finger on ring day, and that will do all the talking for you. Mr. Classic says Grimace going to be wearing a Dodger hat this year. Kay says I'm back, Tortas. Alvarez thinks that 3 shakes is not enough at the urinal. Come on, man. Come on, man. You're begging for it, man. Should I change the Lux thing on the bro, guys? Like, honestly, I'm torn on it. Honestly. Jimmy says, cool quote, bro. Exactly right. Rendon from Hector Munoz. Very possible the Dodgers will meet the Mets in the NLCS, the Yankees in the World Series this year. Again, it's very possible. I mean, baseball's very different, but yeah. Jay Farrell 305. Rendon got his doctor's note. We're not going to hear anything else from him. He's got his doctor's note. That's awesome. That's a great one. Let's give you the finish him.
Finish him.
We've got Duran citing at camp as a tall. White Sox just forfeit the series when they come to LA. That'd be great. Smith out greater than sign Alvarez. There we go. Okay, guys. Yes, change the bruh. So Claudia wants me to change it. Okay, well, I'll start looking for some. I need some bruh faces. I need a new meme king for sure. Okay, before we get out of here, I've got my first round of bold predictions. First round of bold predictions for spring training. First one, Andy Pages is going to rake during spring training and force himself onto the 26-man roster. What that means for Chris Taylor, that remains to be seen. But looking at the year he had last year, his success against lefties, the power that he showed, how hard he hit the ball when he made contact, the work he's put in this offseason. I expect Andy Pages with a full offseason, knowing he's going to get a big opportunity in big league camp. I expect Andy Pages to make that 26-man roster, and I expect it because he's going to prove it. He's going to force himself on the roster. Second bold prediction, Dave Roberts is going to become the highest paid manager in baseball history. He is going to sign a deal that eclipses Craig Counsell. He's going to set the new standard for managers as far as financials go. He is going to get his big bag. And I think that it's going to be a contract that is basically going to make it where, look, you really don't give out lifetime deals. I mean, Bill Belichick got fired by the Patriots, right? I mean, let's just put that out there. Okay, it happens. Guys move on. But Dave Roberts is the perfect manager for this team. He proved it last season, and he has weathered the storm, injuries, off-the-field stuff, and he's maintained a clubhouse culture that is as good, if not better, than any team in Major League Baseball. He pushed the right buttons last season, and he's going to be rewarded. Third bold prediction, Ha-Seong Kim is going to become the Dodgers' starting second baseman. He's going to win that role, and I think he's going to hit close to 300. And I think that you looked early on during spring training. Mookie Betts has been working with them. The team clearly has embraced him. And I think that there's something when you look at his swing where, yeah, he's not looking to hit home runs. I think that he's going to be able to hit for contact. The bat to ball should translate. Can he have velocity? That's the big question. But it's kind of one of those ones where I'm rooting for it to happen, so I kind of want to LeVar Ball manifest it a little bit because his attitude is so great. Always has a big smile on his face. He chose the Dodgers. Look, Shohei Ohtani wouldn't go out of his way to try to convince someone to sign here if he didn't think that he had the potential to help this team. So Ha-Seong Kim could be a very, very sneaky offseason picker for the Dodgers, and I think that you're going to see the bat really translate right away as far as just batting average goes. I don't think you're going to look for a 20-30 home run season, but I have high hopes on him. Third bold prediction, I've got, actually, this is the fourth one. Dustin May is going to flash elite stuff, and I think that he's going to turn into a hybrid weapon as a bullpen dude and as an occasional starter. But I think that Dustin May is going to flash elite stuff, and you're going to start to hear buzz about Dustin May. And the fifth bold prediction is Mookie Betts is going to be so much more improved as a shortstop that he's going to play league average shortstop. And if Mookie Betts plays league average shortstop combined with his offense, that makes him the best shortstop in the sport. Yes, you got Bobby Witt Jr. Yes, you got some other guys out there. But if Mookie can provide the offense that he has in the last couple of seasons, along with league average, like I said, I'm not saying he's going to win the Gold Glove. Mookie told me that he wants to win the Gold Glove. I'm not saying he's going to win the Gold Glove, okay? Because to win the Gold Glove, you got to be like Miguel Rojas level with the range. And if he does that, hey, all bets are off. But it's still bold to say that a guy that was a 6-time Gold Glover in right field hadn't played starting shortstop at the big league level until age 31. If he can do league average shortstop, provide the offense that he has in the last couple seasons, that is going to make the shortstop position for the Dodgers one of the most valued positions in all of Major League Baseball. So those are my 5 so far. We got 5 other more that are a little bolder that I'm going to break out in a later episode. But that's going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. If you haven't yet, do me a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, and comment Roki of the Year so you're eligible for our next big giveaway that comes at 120,000 subscribers. 120,000 subscribers. Let me dive into the comments just for a minute before we leave because I want to see if you guys got any bold ones. Let's see what we got. We got Kim will hit 180 from BC. Okay, she disagree. He'll be the new Chris Taylor. I love the positivity. Like I said, that's what I love about the show. We can disagree. Beer says Dustin May better stay away from a mistake. Okay. We've got why not give second base to Kiké? Because you want to take advantage of his versatility. That's just the key with Kiké. My shoulder hurts from hitting the emoji so much. Any more bold predictions? Gonna need TJ for emojis. What's up, Kay? 3 shakes is not enough for Alvarez. I like that. Love you, D-Mac. Thank you, Claudia. Love you guys back. Thanks, D-Mac in the chat. Stay safe in the rain. Let's see. We got MG says, trade Chris Taylor to the Angels. Evidence shows they'll buy anything. Bold prediction, Dodgers got better logos. Yeah, totally agree with that. But that is going to do it, guys. Subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the Discord, subscribe to The Big Lead, and most importantly, remember this, nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time.